Well, I really hope you guys enjoyed that little cinematic experience of us getting the train down here, going from our old valley to our new area, our new industrial district that we're going to be working on for the next few episodes. And I hope you guys enjoyed getting to see the train on its first ever journey. I'm so excited that we've managed to get it built and operational. I'm so excited we have a little carriage on the back, and our little conductor is doing his job perfectly. He's just sitting back there waiting for his next order. I could not be happier. We have the little stopper at the end of the rail, and all of it has just come together so nicely. There's a little bit of beautification that I'd like to do to the track itself along the way, but I think that's going to be a project for later. But you can see behind me, we have this vast expanse of land, which is going to be our new industrial area for the next few episodes. I've put a lot of work into flattening this area out, getting it ready, prepping it, making sure that it's all fits together and everything is ready. And that includes giving it a gap underneath so that we can build any contraptions and localize power to underneath our valley so that we don't have to clutter anything up with water wheels or lava generators or anything. I really liked the theme of our valley and the style that we were putting into it, but I want to have something a little bit more refined for this area, and I have to say I could not be happier. I'm so excited to get to work on this place. I'm so excited to release the next few episodes, and there's a very, very special video coming out very soon. Keep an eye out for that and subscribe if you want to be notified when that comes out. But I'm very excited about this area, and I think the first thing I want to work on is something up here. So we're actually going to leave the big expanse for now, but I want to work on something up here because our train looks a little bit lonely. There's nowhere for the train to pull into. There's no building. There's no nice little shop. There's nothing. It's just a bland rail. So what I think I want to do is the first thing I think we should add to this area is a train station. I think we should add a little building along the side of this wall here, and potentially a little shop, maybe something in this gap here, and then lead it down onto the front of this valley, have some stairs in the train station, and just make the area nice to look at. Just make it fun and inviting and make trains want to pull into the station. But now that it's nighttime, I think what I'm going to do is get to sleep and then start building up something to look at while our train is here. A little house or a little station for it to have pulled into, and I think it's really going to create a good foundation for our new area and give us something solid to work from. And I'm so excited. I really love the train, and I really love the fact that we have it running and working, and I can't wait to dive into this area. It's going to be so fun. Right, I will see you guys when the train station is done. And with that, we have a train station in our new area. This is our train station. It's very small. It's very quaint. It's based off of a train station down in England. And I thought it was a really pretty train station with the old brick mixed with a sort of green color in a more modern, I say modern, it was probably the 60s or 70s that renovation was done, but they added in a lot of green plastic and I actually thought it looked really cool. It was this little building on the platform covered with a big glass roof and it fit the vibe really well and I really liked it. I added in a fence on the side to protect pedestrians from going onto the tracks, making sure that they stay safe. And we have these bits at the end, which is very common on pretty much all train stations in the UK. I cannot say for sure if it's in the US, but 100% in pretty much every train station I've ever seen in the UK, the end of the platform has a ramp down onto the track with a little sign saying only authorized personnel allowed past here. We haven't got a sign created just yet for out here, but we will in the future. But yeah, I thought it was a really cool touch to add in. We have that on both sides. We have some lampposts so that the train station is nice and bright. We have some plants. And it's just, overall, I think it's a really nice looking kind of train station. We'll pretty it up down here, make it look all good and link it in with the land. But we finally have our first little structure in here. And there are two more things that I want to add to it that we'll get to towards the end of this episode. One of which is a sign telling you when the train is going to be arriving. And we need to put that in the valley as well. So we're going to be creating two of those signs and making sure we can get one in the valley and one over here so that we can gauge when we can get the train back. The other thing I want to do is I want to get a new rail set up. You can see these two rails kind of go off into nothing. I'm thinking for now, rather than manually place this rail all the way back home, which is a long way. I mean, a long way. So we would have to manually place the second track all the way along, all the way down, all the way across. It would just take hours. It would take me 3 weeks to get this video ready if I had to do all of that manually. So instead of that, what I'm going to do is create a little section of track over here where the train can just turn around, or possibly just go up, reverse in, and come back. So we're using the same line of track every time. The only issue is the line of track closest to the station is actually not the line that goes home. So that's not ideal. But what we can do is we can build a bridge somewhere. I don't know where, but we can build a little bridge to get us to the other side, and then we would just replicate this over there. But that's definitely for a later date. So for now, I think what I'm going to do is just connect the lines up so that it all runs off of this track. And then we'll just have the train go forward, reverse, and come back. So it turns around and makes sure that we can get on the train from both sides. And that way we can make sure we can, without any hassle of having to turn the train around and redo the schedule, we can just look at the board and see, the train's coming in 5 minutes. We'll wait it out, we'll get on the train, and then we can head off. I mean, I know we can teleport. I know we have waystones, okay? But I feel like it's more fun getting trains, because trains are just so cool. But with all the talk about what we plan to do with the train aside, I think what we should do is put some of it into action. So the first thing I want to work on is getting those signs created so that we can see when the train is going to arrive and leave the other stations. And then I want to set it up in the valley first. I think once we get it set up in the valley, we can be happy and confident knowing that it's going to work. I know they need power, so I'll put some power underneath the train station, which is only going to power the sign. And then we can get the sign put up over here and make sure that we can adjust the schedule. We'll also sort out the tracks and everything. And then we'll have a fully functioning railway line connecting the two halves of our world. And I'm so excited. Let's get to work on building those signs. And I'm just over in the valley collecting up some resources so that we can start building those signs. But we have a little bit of a problem. So you can probably see behind me right here, we have 19 quartz, 503 redstone, plenty. We also have 0 electronic tubes, something like that. I can't remember exactly what they're called, but to make those, we need rose quartz. polished rose quartz, which we have 0 of, and we have 1 unpolished, which is fine, but we don't have enough quartz to make enough electronic tubes to make the signs as big as we need them to be. So now the problem I'm having is that I don't have enough of the resource that we can get in the overworld, and we don't have a nether portal anymore. So I was thinking what might be a good idea is heading into the nether and maybe farming up some quartz. And we've been into the nether on this side, and it wasn't the best spawn location. I don't know if you guys remember, but it was pretty terrible. So I thought, let's put a nether portal over here where we can, you know, it could be a little bit of fun. We could make something out of it. We could turn it into something cool, and it gives us a new place in the nether to explore, somewhere fresh, somewhere that we haven't been yet. So I think that's what I'm gonna get done. I'm gonna set up a little nether portal, head on into the nether, try and gather up some quartz, and then we will see where things go. I'm thinking about putting the nether portal just on the mountain for now, on that mountain behind me. And then I think what I want to do is maybe turn it into some sort of evil lair, looking over the new area. I'm not 100% sure. For now, we're just going to put the nether portal up there, because I don't really want it too close. It makes really annoying noises. So, yeah, let's get that done. Okay, after that horrific experience in the nether, I am ready. I have loads of quartz. I am prepared. Let's go and get this all crushed up and combined with redstone so we can make the electron tubes. Also, I don't think I ever want to go into the nether again. That was horrific. Those mosquito things, did not like that one bit. However, while this is smelting up, or rather crushing up, I did get this for completing the achievement of killing a crimson mosquito. And I also have 2 blood sacks, because I think I killed about 4 of them. So, with those and a little bit of nether brick, we can make quite a cool looking weapon, I think. I think it's a weapon. And that weapon is the blood sprayer. I have no idea what this does. I have no idea how it works. I don't know what this is. It's just... Oh, okay. Ooh, interesting. Right, let's go test it on the spider. Hello, spider. Okay, this is not fantastic, but we do have like a little machine gun. That's kind of cool. I do want to put unbreaking on it. What can we... Ooh, I wonder what enchantments can actually go on this thing. Ah, okay, so the only enchantments we can put on it are mending and unbreaking 1 to 3. We can put a curse vanishing, but who puts that on anything in a single player world? That's just ridiculous. Okay, we finally have our blood sprayer enchanted with unbreaking 3. It still feels like the durability goes down very quickly, which kind of sucks. It's also very weak. So this is... I don't think this is going to be a regular weapon for us. Are we really 2 redstone short of making a full stack? But at least we have a lot of quartz and a fair amount of rose quartz that we can sand up. There we go. And we can put the last little bit of our sandpaper in there, and then we just need iron sheets, which we don't actually have a lot of, but we do have blocks of iron which we can turn into iron sheets. And I think we're probably going to need, we'll go with half a stack for now, because I can't imagine we're going to need much more than that. 16, well, you get 2 per electron tube, So half a stack will give us a stack of display boards. So yeah, that should be perfect. So now that we have these, I'll get back to you guys when we actually have the display boards ready to go up. Okay, and now if we link up these cogwheels to this gearbox, we should now have power to the sign. It's not rotating with enough speed. Okay, so we need probably a gearbox. No, it's not a gearbox that I need. It's a speed controller. Can I even build a speed controller? Am I able to build a speed controller at the moment? I think so. Let me go grab a speed controller. There we go. Now it's spinning quick enough. Now, to get this to actually display anything, we need a display link, which you make with a redstone torch, brass casing, and a copper sheet. Okay, so we have managed to link the valley up with a display link. I think what is happening is it's not displaying anything because the schedule is actually not telling the train to come here at any point. And that is because the schedule has not been updated to include a new set of rail for the train to turn around on. So that might have to be our next port call. I have another train station. I have some more track. So let's just go and grab another couple of stacks of tracks, put all of our other stuff away, and then head on back over to the new industrial area and see if we can't fix this little problem that we're having. This is a very good time to mention that last episode I asked you guys to help me come up with a name for this valley, and I actually did get quite a few really good suggestions. And there's a couple that I really like. And the two that I want to highlight specifically, or rather the two comments I want to highlight specifically, are suggesting Derail Valley, Swallow Valley, and Copper Canyon. And I love all three of those. And we actually have two really good train names from God's Full Armor 777 as well. Derail Valley was suggested by Roblox Mit Jaro, and God's Full Armor suggested Swallow Valley and Copper Canyon. And for the trains, he suggested the Redstone Rider or the Bedrock Bullet, and I love both of those train names. So the train itself isn't going to be called either of those two things for this train. However, I am reserving both. I've got them in a notebook ready. The train we are going to use to transport redstone items and redstone from the factory to the storage area in the new industrial district, that is going to be the Redstone Rider. Our caving train is going to be the Bedrock Bullet, because I just think that is a sick name for a caving train. In terms of the name of the valley, Copper Canyon, I really like the name of, but it's not fitting to what we're doing in the valley. I mean, we have a lava farm, an andesite farm, mob farm, rail farm, wood farm, but no copper. So instead, I thought we could name this valley Iron Reach Valley. Now, I thought of that name because I really like the incorporation of copper into the suggestion from God's Full Armor, but because we don't produce any copper in the valley, it didn't feel very fitting for this particular location. Potentially in another location we can incorporate copper into the name. However, we do have an iron farm, and it was probably my favorite build in the whole valley. It's my favorite looking building personally. It's the most effective farm in the valley at the moment, excluding wood. That's just, I had to turn it off because we were actually getting too much wood. But the iron farm is potentially my favorite place to be in the valley. It's my favorite looking building. It's my favorite working farm. It's the first big building that I built, and to me it perfectly encapsulates the valley. It's what sort of, I think it's the most viewed video of the series as well, the iron farm video. It's the first blueprint or schematic that I put up. So Iron Reach Valley just sort of felt right. So yeah, I would like to welcome you all to Iron Reach Valley. So now that we have the train station renamed to Iron Reach Valley, we can come down here, and instead of station 1, this can be for Iron Reach Valley. So what I'm going to do is head on back and pop the schedule back on the little guy, make sure that everything lines up correctly, make sure that he actually heads to the right place, and then I will see you guys on the train. Oh, I didn't have time to get on the train, but he is on his way. So let's head on over to the new area and have a look, see if he pulls in. And we'll actually get to see if our schedule board is working, because this now should tell us schedule information about the train, which it doesn't seem to be doing, which isn't ideal. But let's see, can we reconfigure it? Train schedule status on line 2. Yeah, it doesn't seem to be working. So I'm sure a bunch of you guys were screaming at your screen telling me that I was selecting the wrong option in the display link, but I did manage to get it to display what is going on with the train, and it says it should be here in 1 minute, and there it is. There's our train. That's so cool. Oh my god, 30 seconds. Yep, that seems about right. Yep. Now. Oh, that's so good. Horse! Oh my god. Jeez. So this horse, man. Right, let's get you out of here. Okay. Oh my goodness. And it is here now. I don't know if it... Oh, we have not... Okay, that's not good. We're gonna have to rethink our train platform on this end. But let's quickly sleep before this train leaves, and then we can hop back on it and head back over to our industrial district. So the train is working. Let's see. I just want to follow it through and make sure that it actually gets everything right. So once the train leaves, we can be sure that we're displaying all the right info on the board and that the train is working. So look at that. The train is about to leave for the industrial district. Iron Reach Valley Station. Let's see. Is it going to head off? Oh, it is, but this is a problem. It's going backwards. This is not good. We don't want that. Okay, and now that we have the train sorted, it is properly turning around in the right locations. We had to utilize the second station and also make sure that we had a signal in place. But now that that's done, the train is finished. And with the train being finished, one thing we can work on is getting this station sorted. So, sorry, not station, getting this display board sorted. So we need a little bit of power, and I think the power is going to come through this block here. So we just need to pop down here and make sure there's nothing, no evil little creatures. No, we seem good. So we're going to grab a few cog wheels, get them attached. So I want them there, and then we do want a speed controller, which I don't actually have. This is going to be a problem. And the reason this is going to be a problem is because if you have a look up there, we have no gold sheets. And over in our crushing building, we have no gold dust or pulverized gold or crushed gold. And in our workshop, no raw gold, no gold ingots, and no gold sheets. But we do have... Oh, I actually didn't know this. I was expecting to do a mining trip, but we do have gold nugget. How many ores is that going to get us? 4, 3. That's not bad. Okay, so we can make 3 precision mechanisms, which is good. But I think we still need to do a mining trip very soon. I think that would probably be a useful idea, because this is all the gold we have left, apart from 6 nuggets. So yeah, we're not doing good in the whole gold front. We definitely need to find a way to either automatically make this in our new industrial area and work on that, or we need to go mining. So, do you know what? Let's have a look. How would we automate gold? So, to get gold ingots, you can either craft down a gold block or craft up 9 golden nuggets. You can blast raw gold, nether gold ore, or other types of gold ore or crushed raw gold. You can smelt, you can pack nuggets, you can craft the 2 crafting recipes, you can crush golden apples, boots or totems, clocks and horse armor. You can blast raw gold, gold ores, gold coins, gold ores, crushed raw gold. You can do quests, dungeon quests. Okay, how would we create a gold nugget? We can craft down a gold ingot. We can blast up tools, smelt armors and tools. We can crush ochrum, which, yeah, okay, that's fine. But it's a, that's a limited resource. There is a finite amount. We can crush down tuff. That's an interesting one. Or we can wash red sand. Also an interesting one. Yeah. So it seems that our best bet is most likely going to be crushing tuff or washing red sand. And those are both important. So how do we make red sand? We can crush granite to make red sand. And how do we make granite? Granite is diorite and quartz. And diorite is cobblestone and quartz. Interesting. Okay. That's one way to do it. The other way was crushing tuff. So let's see, how do we make tuff? Tuff is created by mixing diorite and andesite, and we already have an andesite farm. So all we would need to do is create diorite. So how do we make quartz? To make quartz, we can crush diorite, obviously. We can crush anything that's made with or out of quartz. Prismarine crystals, that's an interesting one. We can wash soul sand. That would also net us a little bit of gold. And how do we make soul sand? We can haunt sand. And sand can be gotten from crushing gravel. Okay, I think this is what we're going to do. We are going to go to the industrial district and we are going to make a gravel farm. And then from the gravel farm, we're going to crush that down into sand, haunt the sand into soul sand, and then wash the soul sand into golden nuggets. That is going to be our gold farm. I know that we get less gold from washing soul sand, but the benefit is we do get nether quartz. And if we do this on a big enough scale, we can use the nether quartz to create diorite to let us make granite to make red sand. Actually, there's a much easier way. We can use the quartz to make diorite, mix it with andesite and get tuff. And then we can crush tuff for gold. Okay, we have our gold farm. That is what we are going to start work on in the industrial district. Our first farm is going to be gold, which is going to consist of gravel farm, which means we need a cobblestone generator. Right. You know what? I'm going to figure this all out off camera and I will come back with a little bit of a list on a clipboard of what we need to do. Okay, so I've had a bit of a think. And what we need to do is we need a cobblestone generator. We need to crush that cobblestone into gravel. We need to crush that gravel into sand. We need to haunt that sand into soul sand. And we need to wash that soul sand into gold and quartz. And then from there, we'll take the quartz and we'll start a diorite factory. But for now, this is good. So this is what we are going to work on. So first things first is we are going to make a precision mechanism just so that we can get that display board up and running. Okay, unfortunately from that, we only managed to get 2 precision mechanisms because there is a chance for it to give back random salvage. On one of the attempts, we only got a cogwheel back. But you know what? 2 is better than none. So let's get our precision mechanism crafted up into a rotational speed controller. And then we have water wheels, which is good. We have a bucket of water, which is good. So let's get back over to the new area. Actually, is the train around? No, the train is not around. That's unfortunate. It would have been nice to take the train, but you know, we can still teleport, so it's fine. Let's go get this built. Perfect. And now that this is running correctly, now all we need to do is cover this hole back up just like that, and then we need a display link, which I could have sworn that we had some, but apparently we don't. So let me... do we? No, I don't think we do. Let's have a look. No, we don't. And we're missing a copper sheet. Ah, but we do have copper. Right, so let's get this finished up. Perfect. Now that we have a display link, we can select that. Whoops, I did not mean to do that. We can select that, and then we just need to pop over here and chuck that on this station here. And now that we have our display board fully working and covering the whole back wall, I think it is time to start work on our gold farm that we talked about earlier in the episode. But with such a large expanse of land that needs to be filled, we need to figure out where we're going to put the gold farm, how big we want to make it, and most importantly, how we want to lay it out and design it. That is going to take some time. So, what I thought was we are going to kick off the industrial area with a bang by building the gold farm in the next episode. That is going to be the big introduction to the industrial era, is we are going to build an industrial scale iron farm, which goes through everything that we've already talked about. It's going to go through cobblestone generation, cobblestone crushing, gravel crushing, mass haunting, mass washing, and then taking the quartz from the mass washing over to either a second factory or a separate part of that factory to do a whole new process all over again to generate diorite, combine it with andesite and lava, create tuff, and then crush that down for even more gold. So I hope you guys are looking forward to that. I know I am. I will see you guys in the next episode. I hope you have enjoyed this one. Peace. God, I think this train is so cool.